Hello, my friends. We're out and about around Young Harris off of this is Ivy Log Gap Road, and I'm sort of lost as usual, and we're trying to find our road 100, which is a State Forest Road 100, and that'll take us out to 129 eventually. But this, I tried to import it off of Google Maps, and Google does weird stuff because it always wants to take you to the fastest way. And anyway, so we're just going to start on the gravel part of this Ivy Log Gap Road. It's a beautiful day here in North Georgia, and this is the first ride that I'm checking out my new seat. I put a seat concept seat on, so I don't even feel the seat. Although this is very close to my house. Usually my other stock seat, after about 100 miles, your butt is just paralyzed. So I bit the bullet, and this is a really nice road. I bit the bullet and put the seat concept seat on. It comes with new foam, and it comes with the cover. It was actually pretty easy installation. So now if anybody that has an FSR100 that's looking for an OEM stock foam and seat cover, I got one. I should have actually put this seat concepts on in the first place. But the longer I started the ride, then it was, starting to hurt. And I said, well, if I'm planning on doing some BDRs in the future, you really have to have a comfortable seat. I mean, it really makes a lot of difference. So yeah, this is around Young Harris, Blairsville. This is really in my backyard. I'm really so fortunate to have so much gravel in places that you can take your dual sport. I mean, even when I was living in Southern California, the desert was a hike away, where, this is like 8 miles from my house, and I'm on all the gravel that you could possibly want. This is sort of the time of the year, though, that these gravel roads are covered with leaves, so you really don't know what's under them, and you just hope that there's not gnarly rocks or anything. But this looks like there's enough people that ride on this road that keep pretty most of the leaves at bay. There's a couple sections like in here where it's all leaf covered, but for the most part, this is a pretty tame road. No gnarly ruts or anything like that. There's quite a few people that live off of this road, so I'm sure it has to be maintained. Some of these Forest Service roads don't get a whole lot of use, and some of those can be rough. But I never go too crazy on these roads, especially when I haven't been on them. If I know the road, it gives you a little bit more you have a better understanding of what the deal is. So the next thing that I want to get is a decent GPS, because I don't. Google Maps is just not really set up for motorcycle or off-road kind of stuff. It's always trying to take you to the quickest, and I get it, you know, for the car kind of a thing. I haven't seen any houses for a while. I mean, I set the Google Maps for just the Ivy Log Gap Road, but I wish it would have like just stayed on the map so that you can follow where it goes, but it just stops at whatever pin you drop. Probably a lot of it's because, you know, I'm not really great with electronic gadgets, but so anyway, it's about 70 degrees today. It's really comfortable. And I'm pretty high up here. I'm not really on the road that I want to be on yet, but we'll see how lost we're going to get here. Oh, here's some people up here. Doesn't this go out to Florida Service Road 100? There's all kinds of trails out here, but I don't really know what the deal is. Well, this is a pretty rocky road. I can't really see where I'm going because it's so leaf covered. This is just taking you through the woods here. Usually, they don't really mark these Florida service roads that well. You just sort of have to know where they are, and that's by trial and error. So if you don't mind sort of being in a state of being lost like I usually always am, then it's okay. But if you're the kind of person that always likes to know exactly where you are, well, I just try to look out for big humps in the leaves or something. But This road right now is totally leaf covered, so when they're like this, it's not usually a good idea to try to fly down these roads because you just don't know. Well, if you know me, I don't fly down any roads. But that's besides the point. This section here is a little rocky coming up this hill. It's not bad. You just can't really see what you're going over. So you have a better chance if you do hit something big. You know, I'm only going like 20 miles an hour or something, so it's not a big deal. We get some more rain and some more wind, all these leaves are going to be down. This is elevator up. We're still climbing. I had no idea this road was even here. I mean, it's on my map. And I'm just slowly choosing different roads that I haven't been on before, and this apparently is one of them. Looks like we're finally getting up to a summit. Maybe we'll have a view up here. I don't know. I can't see over this hump. Yeah, we are high. We are very high. High in the sky. Lucy in the sky with the diamonds. Now we're going down. We are going down, folks. I'll tell you right now, it's good time to do any river crossings because all the water is like, I've never seen it so low. I haven't come to the intersections that I thought I was going to be coming to, but not been too much traffic on this road that I can tell. There's a few little ruts here and there, nothing serious, just from water erosion when it used to rain. Now you go off this side of the road here and, well, pretty much forget it. You ain't coming back. I'm basically just idling down this road. It's just weird to see the trails so leaf covered. Because normally, you know, you can look ahead and see, pick a line. Here you can't pick any kind of a line because you don't know what the hell is under the leaves. So it's just another thing to deal with this time of year. We go around this way, I guess. That's what it does look like. Well, so far I haven't gone very far mileage-wise, but I don't even feel like sitting on the seat. I mean, it's just like you're sitting on your couch. I highly recommend anybody that's, well, anybody that has any kind of bike, doesn't make a difference whether it's dual sport, dirt bike, street bike. Highly recommend Seat Concept seats. I had one before on my DR, so I was familiar with it. But on my other DR, the 350 that I had a stock seat, and I never had a complaint. I mean, I used to ride some pretty far tracks on that bike, but I had a new Honda when I was in the Philippines. I had a CRF 250L, and that was probably about the worst seat I've ever experienced. That was your true 2x4 seat, and you couldn't even make it 100 miles on that seat before you were absolutely pulverized. But so many dirt bikes and dual sports have terrible seats. And of course, manufacturers will say, well, if you're on a dirt bike, you're not supposed to be sitting most of the time anyway. It's a dirt bike. Well, true. But you know, when you're on a dual sport, you have a fair amount of highway to deal with. you're not constantly standing 100% of the time. Oh, we got some deer. We get these deer. See the little Bambis in front of me? Goes Bambi. This just cracks me up that there's all of this gravel so close to me. It just blows me away to live in an area that you don't have to ride or trailer your bike to, you know. I'm finally living in the right area. When I was up in Pennsylvania, that sucked. Plus I was north of Philadelphia in the eastern part of the state is not really good. There's riding in the middle of the state, but on the eastern part you have to go to Jersey, and the Pine Barrens have tons of trails, but that's all sugar sand. So if you're not a big sand lover, sand is a whole different animal. Unfortunately, I did a little bit of it when I had my John Deere bike, KLR, and I didn't keep the KLR too long. Let's just leave it at that. It's a poor man's adventure bike, yeah, I know. And there's some people that absolutely love them, I know. But they sort of suck off-road. They're too damn heavy. They'll do a lot of it, but let me put it to you this way, I got tired of picking up that bitch in the sand. And I had, you know, all my camp gear on it and all that, so that was way too much. I forget what I sold that. I was actually living in Delaware when I sold the KLR. Now there's one weird thing though. The KLR is one bike that I actually made money on when I sold it. Because I put a lot of mods on it, you know, the crash bars and all kinds of, you know, stuff. And the guy who bought it was just one of these die-hard KLR guys. Now I'm not bashing KLRs. Don't get me wrong. But we all have bikes that we've had or we liked, and some stand out more than others. You know, I guess, you know, if some people like it, you know, that's fine. But it didn't really blow my skirt up. I sort of tend to like lighter bikes, like 300 pounds and under. So people tell me all the time, oh, you should get a KTM 690 and, you know, all this kind of stuff. Well, I don't know. You know, my little XT is only like 240 some pounds or something. That's, you know, it's a 4-stroke, but it's sort of like having a little 2-stroke. And it's not only light, it's the lowest, if not the lowest seat height you can get for a dual sport. Unless you're going into like real tiny bikes like, you know, 100 cc's or something, or little pit bikes or something. But I really enjoy my XT. I won't sell it, and it's one of those bikes that if somebody wants to go riding and they don't have really much dirt experience, you can't really get into too much trouble on an XT. You know, you don't want to give somebody a 450 because you go crazy on the throttle, you're going to be flying off that bike. Even this XR has a lot of torque, and I don't use it to its potential. I mean, I don't do anything. Oh, it's pretty up here. I just wish there was more of a little overlook. No matter what bike that I've ever had, I never push the bike to its absolute minimum. You know, there's some people that if they have street bikes, you know, they're up to the red line constantly. I don't do that. Like, this XR is a really good trail bike, and it can handle, you know, things that I can't handle, so I'm good. I don't really need any more power, because I don't really have that mentality that I'm ever on a race. You know, and I realize, you know, some people, they do like to race, and you know, that's okay, but I'm just saying that's not me. I don't require to go as fast as possible in order to feel like that's an enjoyable ride. Even when I used to ride a lot of street, I didn't have to go 150, you know what I mean? I'm rambling on again. This leafy road here just keeps on going. I wonder if we're ever gonna find the end of it. One of these corners I'm gonna see if I have any signal on the maps, and just out of fun, hit the go home button and see where it takes me. You know, a lot of people swear by Gaia or the Reaver, but I don't really have a really high quality phone to begin with. So my phone is not really that great of a phone to rely on my navigation. So that's why I would rather have just a separate tool for navigation. Stuff that I can import tracks, like from base camp and stuff. And around here in this area, most of the good riding areas don't really have cell reception. And I know some of the programs you can download whatever your map's downloaded, so you don't even need the cell service, but I just know my phone is just pretty much junk. And I mean, I use it to take pictures and just as a phone, but I'm not trying to turn it into a navigation tool. And from a lot of the research that I've done, the Garmin Zumo XT is pretty easy compared to, like, I used to have the Montana. Like, even my phone does not want to on 100 now. Well, that's good to know. See, I thought I had to make turns or something. So I'm on 100. Well, that just goes to show you nothing's marked. Some roads are, but don't think that everything's going to be marked perfectly. Now, I'm just surprised that I had a little bit of cell service to get me on. So when I brought that up, it shows me that I'm on Forest Service Road 100 right now. So I'm happy to know that at least. I really like this road though. I would like to come back without all these leaves. Plus I sort of like to see where I'm going, and if it's not too bad, I don't mind ripping the throttle a little bit. But when it's camouflage the way it's camouflage here, you go bouncing into a big rock or something, you can have yourself an effed up day. But this is definitely, I would definitely come back on this road. There's another Forest Service Road 334 that's not far from here. And maybe I'll try to hit that one the next time. We need to bring a leaf blower. That's what we need to do. Hook up a leaf blower to the front. Well, I gotta take my front wheel off. And you're saying, why? Well, this is the second speedometer I put on. I wanted this speedometer, even though it's in kilometers, because it has a trip odometer. And I think I like having a trip odometer. My other speedometer was in miles per hour, which we all are very familiar with. The kilometer one that I have on now does not bother me because I've had a few bikes, and living in Asia, everything's in kilometers, so that doesn't bother me. But what I have to do now is take the wheel off and take the little speedometer gear apart and clean it. I think it has a lot of old grease, and you know, if grease gets really old and hasn't been used in a while, it gets pasty and hard and yucky. I've got to go through that with some brake cleaner and clean it all up, because sometimes the speedometer, like the little needle, does all kinds of weird shit. You know, I know I'm not going 100 miles an hour, or sometimes it'll say I'm only going like 20 miles an hour when I'm definitely going. It does weird shit. So I have to take that apart. I already replaced the cable, so I know the cable's not bad. And both of these speedometers are way too new. Muir Woods Lane. I really like this road. See, now if I had my XT, I could be making, I would already, oh, now here's a private residence. I could already be saving this track for future, now since that guy lives here, see, he's got this road blown clear so you can actually see where in the world you're going. I like that.